Okay, so the question was asked, why do people convert from atheism? And I thought I should, and I'm addressing this specifically because this person emailed this to me. So thanks for sending me the link and making me spend 5 minutes on a video. Um, no, I'm kidding. Anyway, people convert from atheism because they have had a moment in time. In my opinion, okay, the best way to give this a broad stroke, they had a moment in time where they had a lapse of critical thinking, whether it was succumbing to, say, Pascal's wager. And if you have succumbed to Pascal's wager, for those that don't know, this is the argument that you need to just believe because you have a chance of getting to the afterlife. But if you don't believe, then you don't have a chance to get to heaven. So you're not risking anything, and you're actually gambling less, and we're taking a big risk by not believing in X God. There's hundreds of refutations for that. The argument's really poor, but many people succumb to it. There are other arguments. The whole well, we had to come from somewhere, right? Kirk Cameron used this in a debate on ABC. He said, well, eventually you go back and you go back and you go back and you get to the Big Bang, and something had to create it. Well, no, something didn't have to create it. If you want to believe that something had to create it, you have to prove that something had to create it. And so people fall prey to this argument. It's called the argument from ignorance. It's a logical fallacy. It gets you thrown out of any philosophical course if you actually embrace this as your lifestyle. That you walked around embracing the argument from ignorance. There's a pizza shop, so there has to be an invisible man that created the pizza shop, right? Obviously. And you would say, well, the pizza store owner, he's the one that created the pizza shop. And I would say to you, but there has to be a flying spaghetti monster that told him to create the pizza shop, right? I mean, how could you prove me wrong? Or how could I prove myself right? So I think a lapse of critical thinking is the best way to paint it in a broad stroke. And obviously, there are many little instances. Tradition is the biggest reason why atheists convert. I mean, all atheists that have converted, um, you know, in childhood, were subjected to religion at an early age. I mean, we're all born atheists. If you use the most respected dictionary of the English language, the Oxford English Dictionary, to define atheism, and not some Christian bastardized American dictionary, you'll find out that atheism is simply the lack of belief in a God. It's disbelieving in a God. And of course, if you look at disbelief, it's somebody who doesn't hold a belief. So you are either atheist or theist, and nobody's born as a theist. We don't have theory of mind until 3, 4 years old. Some people never develop the ability to believe in a God. People that are autistic, sometimes people that are Down syndrome. And these people never develop theory of mind and can never convert. They can never understand what you're even talking about when you express a God belief. So I mean, I think tradition is obviously the biggest reason why atheists convert. It's obvious you're probably looking for why would somebody like me convert, or somebody maybe that's a fan of our show or something like that. They're an atheist and at 25 years old, and they grew up as a Christian and they became an atheist and they convert later. Fear probably has a lot to do with it. Fear of the unknown, fear of what could happen after death, and just taking the easy way out, and not being able to embrace life for what it really is. In fact, let me pop I'll pop two quotes from Jake from atheistnetwork.com, who helped me overcome religion 8 years ago and is now one of my best friends today. He said, "The hardest thing in life to do is to see things as they are, not as you want them to be." And in my opinion, theists see things as they want them to be. Atheists often see things as they are. And let me even touch on a point there, because you said atheists are skeptical and analytical. That's not true. Many are, many are not. I know at least 3 atheists that I've run into online over the last few years that didn't believe that we got here through means of evolution. They were agnostic on evolution, and they didn't They didn't. They didn't believe it was factual. Um, I have seen. I mean, I've written about this multiple times. How discouraging it is sometimes to see the sort of irrationality from within atheism, and that's not going to go away. People are a product of their upbringing, and a lot of times, those who were taught to utilize faith as means of proving something have long lasting effects on their ability to think critically. And atheists are not impervious to, these sorts of critical thinking flaws. I probably do it myself from time to time. I try really hard not to, but nobody's perfect. And, you know, atheists are not always skeptical and analytical. Some atheists just don't give a shit. Some atheists are atheists because they were born atheists. Their parents never taught them religion, and they just stayed that way. And maybe their dad was like a Nazi or KKK member or something. I mean, of course, most of those people are religious, but you get my point. Okay, you could have easily had a parent that was crazy on some other completely other issue, and that has been instilled in the child, and now you have an atheist grown up who is irrational. Um, Not skeptical, not analytical, doesn't think things through, doesn't even care to think things through, doesn't even see the value of thinking things through. So, while I hate bashing on atheists, I need to be fair and state that there are plenty that can't think properly. Um, the other quote from Jake that I wanted to give you was a pretty simple one. The only thing that one atheist has to have in common with another one is a lack of belief in a God. That's it. Nothing more. Nothing less. Nothing more. The only one thing you will find as a commonality between all atheists all the time is that they lack belief in a God. Not all atheists believe in evolution. Not all atheists are liberal. Not all of them are skeptical. Not all of them can think critically. Like I said, there are autistic people out there in the world today that aren't capable of thinking in the same modes of thought that you and I are, and they're atheist. They probably don't even know what the word evolution is sometimes. Obviously there's varying degrees of autism, but speaking of autism, check out dangeroustalk.net. He's a friend of ours, and he does a radio show as well, and he's got an autism awareness atheist donation program happening right now. I don't have all the details. It just kind of came to my head when I mentioned autism. So check that out. It's an important cause to him. And I'm going to end this video before it gets too long. So thanks so much. Check me out at rationalresponders.com. And this video is a little bit different than normal, but whatever. Hope you liked it.